Reminders by Lewis Porter II. Michael Montgomery was losing patience with the elevators in his fancy hotel. After attending the client's conference and being bored to death, this brother was tired of long speeches and fancy food. He just wanted to get back to his room and get some sleep. "Come on," he said under his breath, loosening the tasteful tie that seemed like a noose around his neck. No elevator would come. Out of the corner of his eye, he spotted a service elevator and the sign, "Employees Only." In defiance, he hopped on to the smaller, plainer elevator. Much to his chagrin, it went down, not up. When the doors opened, he found himself in what looked like a kitchen, surrounded by other kitchens. Where were the elevators that could take him to his room? As he searched, employees of the hotel whisked past him, not noticing that a well-dressed black man in a navy blue suit was decidedly out of place in the employee basement. He came to a corner where an older black woman was standing over a stove, wearing a uniform much like the women who had served him at dinner, only in gray, whereas theirs had been black. Her white hair was pulled back and tucked beneath a hairnet, and she looked very much at peace. She reminded Michael of his grandmother in New Orleans, and he made a mental note to call Big Mama when he got some time. "Excuse me, ma'am, can you tell me how to find the guest elevators?" the woman said, turning around and completing his sentence. "You couldn't wait and decided to take the service elevator, only it didn't go up. It came down. Now you are in the kitchen and wondered how you got here. Am I right, young man?" Michael smiled. Now that he was on the other side of 30, people didn't call him a young man that much. But to this woman, who looked like she ought to be retired, he guessed he was a young man. "That's right, ma'am," he replied, flashing an embarrassed grin. "Everyone calls me Miss Gloria. And you are—" "Michael Montgomery. I was just in the hotel to attend a client's conference, and right now I want to get to my room." "Excuse me, Miss Gloria, is that gumbo I see you cooking?" "It sure is. I've been cooking at this hotel so long that once a month they ask me to cook up something for the employee room, not the guests. We put it in a hot pot and the kitchen workers who want to help themselves. It's one of the few nice things they do around here the way they used to before Star Service bought the place out. It smells so good, like Big Mama, or my grandmother, makes down in New Orleans. Would you like some?" "Oh, I couldn't. It's for the employees, and I'm not even supposed to be down here." Miss Gloria ignored his protest, ladled up some gumbo in a bowl with rice, making certain she included a piece of crab. Quickly she set a place at the little table to the side and gestured for him to sit down. Surprised at his own obedience, he sat down. Mm-hmm. Miss Gloria, this tastes like the gumbo Big Mama makes. I didn't know anybody else could make gumbo like this." "Oh, I'm sure it's not as good as your Big Mama's," Miss Gloria said, beaming. "But the people from the kitchen sure like it. This, along with my shrimp creole and red beans and rice and stewed red fish. Manager has to tell them to wait till their lunch or breaks before stopping to eat when I cook down here." That reality and Michael's reaction obviously wrapped Miss Gloria in a blanket of pride. As Michael ate his gumbo, she cleaned the area and had one of the young ladies from across the hall place the big pot on a cart and roll it to the workers' area. When Michael looked up, his bowl was empty and Miss Gloria was gathering her things, putting on her coat. "Now I'll show you how to get to your room, young man." "Thank you, Miss Gloria," he responded. He cleared the table, emptying the crab shells into the trash can and placing his bowl in the dishwasher as he had seen Miss Gloria do with the other dishes. Somebody sure raised you right, Miss Gloria said. Guess that would be my mama and Big Mama. Taking Michael through a maze of little hallways, Miss Gloria showed him how to get back to the guest elevators. As they passed, all her co-workers said, "Good night, Miss Gloria," and "See you in the morning." She responded in kind. Many asked what she had made for the employee room, and her answer was always the same. "You'll see, sweetie." They were so polite and respectful to her that Michael was wondering how a simple cook could gain so much respect. The African American worker's deference he could understand. Michael guessed that he was not the only one who thought of a beloved grandmother when in her presence. But the white people, some who were dressed for success and looked to be management, were respectful to her as well. Michael's mind drifted to some of the arrogant white folks he worked with, and he wondered how they would respond to someone like Miss Gloria. "Well, here we are," announced Miss Gloria, pointing to a row of elevators. "I should go back up the service elevator, but I'm tired and will bend the rules tonight. I usually don't do this." Michael heard himself saying, "Miss Gloria, you have worked here a long time, and I can tell they respect you. So the rules don't really apply to someone like you." Smiling, she replied, "Michael, because people around here respect me and I respect them, the rules especially apply to me. But we have been really busy in the kitchen this week, and I hope nobody notices an old cook with a bus to catch riding up the guest elevator with the hotel's most handsome guest." Michael actually blushed. Yes, black people do blush. How long it had been since he felt his face flush from a compliment, he could not remember. When the elevator got to the main floor, Michael hopped off with Miss Gloria, telling her for the third time how much he enjoyed the gumbo and thanking her. "Listen, Miss Gloria, I have a rental car in the hotel garage. Let me give you a ride home." Miss Gloria put up a protest. She explained that she had the bus route down pat. The drivers all knew her and looked out for her, as did the people who worked in the shops and restaurants between the hotel and her little house just 20 minutes away. "Lots of people look out for me, sweetie." "That sounds like the old-fashioned community," Michael said. "I didn't know it still existed." "Why, it does if you look for it and live it. Still a lot of kind people left in this world, sweetie," Miss Gloria said, sounding, Michael thought, like his favorite elementary school teacher. "But if you want to take this tired lady home, I'll accept your kindness." With that, Michael took Miss Gloria's arm, and the two strode across the lobby. Michael felt as if he had the honor of escorting a queen to her castle. Another bank of elevators took them to the hotel garage. Soon they were in his rental car, and Miss Gloria was directing him to her duplex. "How long have you worked at the hotel?" he asked, to make conversation. 25 years, she told him, in a job she initially thought of as temporary. "You see, I taught school in Shreveport, Louisiana for 10 years. Then my husband just had to move up north for a better life. Well, it did work out for us. He got a job in the factory helping to build airplanes and had made his way up to foreman. It was good money, but I never could get on in the school system up here. They always had more teachers than they needed and promised to call me back. When they didn't call, I found a job working at the hotel, helping to make salads. Temporary became permanent, and here I am." "You mean you used to teach school and now you're working in the kitchen?" he asked, before realizing his tone was rather insulting. Miss Gloria just laughed. "It's honest work, sweetie, and I advance too. For years I helped run the kitchen. Now I'm what they call a senior cook, which means I make a bit more, but don't have to worry about being in charge. Being in charge is one big headache. A lot of the young people still look to me to tell them how things go at the hotel. Honey, I am still teaching." Michael could not believe it. No wonder Miss Gloria sounded like an educated woman. She was an educated woman. But what about your education? Michael, I loved school when I was a girl, and later as a young woman, Miss Gloria told him. At Southern, I stayed on the honor roll, and I used my education to help turn that kitchen into a well-run operation. But just because most people don't consider the job professional doesn't mean I am not a professional. My husband, Wesley, bless his soul, and I raised a son and 2 daughters and bought this duplex through him working at the factory and me working at the hotel. All 3 of my children are well educated and have fancy jobs, like you. They also left town and sometimes forget to stay connected. Something tells me you forget to keep in contact with your people, too. They were pulling up in front of Miss Gloria's neat duplex, and he saw she didn't look the least bit upset. Rather, she looked like a satisfied teacher finishing up a lesson. For the second time that night, he found himself blushing. Well, I could call Mama and Big Mama more often. I send them something nice almost every time I'm on the road, though. And I bet they appreciate those nice things. But what your Mama and Big Mama really want is to hear from their boy. Now I know you're a man and everything, and if a white man ever calls you a boy, you will let him have it. But you will always be their special boy. With that, Miss Gloria leaned over and gave him the warmest hug he had received in a long, long time. Don't you worry about seeing me to the door. I know what a gentleman you are. And stay off that fancy cell phone as you drive back to the hotel. But I need you to do me a favor before you go to sleep tonight. Anything at all, Miss Gloria. It's not too late. When you get back to your room, call your Mama and Big Mama and just tell them you were thinking about them. Tell them how much you miss them and the good food they cook. They need to hear that. Miss Gloria, you are one special lady. She waved the compliment away, smiled, and climbed the stairs to her home. Michael did not pull off until she was inside.